Hello and welcome to the 2020 Democratic Party between Joe Biden and Beto O'Rourke. These two candidates are two pretty top leading candidates for 2020, and they have not yet announced if they are to run or not, so I'm doing a hypothetical primary election. We're going to start off with the home states. Beto O'Rourke would easily carry Texas, and Joe Biden would easily carry the states of Pennsylvania and Delaware. These are two states he lived in and served in Congress in the state of Delaware. We're going to now go over the other states. Beto O'Rourke would easily pick up Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, California. These are all highly Hispanic populated states, and I could see him also picking up the states of Oregon and Washington. These two are very progressive states, and Bernie Sanders did very well with those states. And I could also see Nevada. This is also another highly populated with Hispanic voters. Beto O'Rourke is very, very good with Hispanic voters. Decent, I would say decent with the white working class voters, and I would say he's not too appealing to the African American voters. So I could see Biden easily sweeping the Deep South. I could see Beto O'Rourke also taking Alaska and Hawaii, also two progressive states, very, very progressive, and also Vermont. I could see him taking Vermont, very progressive, has Bernie Sanders as their senator, and they actually voted less for Hillary than for Obama, which was a surprise. I thought with Bernie Sanders in the race would actually turn out more voters there. Some other states I could see Joe Biden easily picking up is most of the Northeast, New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Maryland, and also the District of Columbia. So now 166 to 151. I could see also Beto O'Rourke taking Maine. No, not New Hampshire. Maine, another very progressive state. This is actually hard to tell. I don't know if it was just because Hillary wasn't too popular there, or Bernie Sanders appealed there to the progressives. So that's really hard to tell, but I think it would slightly go to Beto O'Rourke. But I could see Joe Biden slightly carrying the state of New Hampshire. Beto O'Rourke would also carry this most of these states here. Basically, this is going to be very easy for him. Mostly progressive Democrats, except South Dakota. And we're going to wait on Montana. That's interesting. I could see Joe Biden sweeping the Rust Belt, Michigan, Wisconsin. We're going to wait on Minnesota, but he's leading in the Iowa caucus polls. I could also see him taking Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia. These are very, very popular areas he's in, but I could see Beto O'Rourke taking the state of Florida. Very interesting, high population of Hispanic voters there. And Joe Biden not really appealing to many Hispanic voters. He has better appeal with the African American and slightly, I would say, average with the white working class. And I could also see Joe Biden taking the states of Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, Illinois, and Missouri very easily. And this makes Joe Biden the nominee for the Democratic primary. Even though it doesn't go by electoral votes, it goes by delegates, not delegates. This would be very good. Anyways, with delegates, I think he could definitely take most of the delegates in this area, and many in the middle of the country, there's not many delegates, like electoral votes. So now we're going to move on to these last 3 states, which I think are very hard to determine. I think that Joe Biden would carry South Dakota. Not too progressive of a state, more in the moderate, like, I think would go more along with Joe Biden. I could see Montana going more with Beto O'Rourke. It's slightly leans progressive. And I could see Minnesota going to Joe Biden, leaving Joe Biden with 315 electoral votes to Beto O'Rourke 223. This is very interesting, almost splitting the country completely in half. Besides the states of South Dakota, Florida, Vermont, and Maine, this would be very interesting. I think this is pretty accurate of what things would go on. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My end of the month goal for subscribers is to at least have 30. We're at 28 currently, and we've so far gained 2 subscribers this year in 6 days, so that's around a new subscriber every 3 days. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.